All right, everybody, and welcome once again to the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. I'm Mike Parker, your host for the week, and Artie's out, so we want to wish him well. Everything's fine from everybody's understanding as we continue down this uncertain path. And what do they always say? Uncertain times and unprecedented moment in history, you know. But from what I understand, Artie's doing great. He's just too busy to join us today. But we wanted to get a podcast under the belt, as we have some cool news to share about ABC, and while we're some parts of central Pennsylvania are starting to reopen here under our governor's stay-at-home order here shortly because of this COVID-19 deal. Other parts of the company are still sort of stifled right now, and the future's a little uncertain as to when we'll be able to get back into our favorite Appalachian brew pub and everything else. But there are some success stories and things that we're learning along the way, and that's why we're bringing in another a member of the ABC family here today. It's Dave Tlaxcala. He is the brewery operations manager, and I welcome you via our Zoom call here today. Dave, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there. Working every day, working from the basements of the home. Got a third grader and a fifth grader typically upstairs that I sometimes have to take a broomstick and say, shut up, I'm trying to work down here. Other than that, it's pretty cool. How about you?
I'm good. It's just like having roommates again, isn't it? It's just a pain. No, but they're good. Same thing. We got 2 kids, but everyone's healthy, so I absolutely cannot complain. So.
No, well, that's the biggest thing. And we talked our last episode. If you're new to the podcast, or the last episode was we were pretty fresh into this thing around the beginning of April, and we talked to Artie. We talked to Jack down in Florida, just sort of about like how guys were hanging and what we were thought, and some of the things they said at the time. We weren't sure how long this was going to last. It's going to be a couple of weeks. Well, I think we're pretty sure right now that we're sort of in this for the long haul. As far as we're definitely in the months phase, as far as like when things could possibly get back to normal, and we're all getting a little bit more of an understanding as to like why certain things occurred and why why restaurants still aren't able to really operate in the same way. But we did it in essence not to flood the system like the healthcare system. And now a lot of people, now that we've seen that we didn't do that and we didn't overwhelm our hospitals and stuff, a lot of people are anxious to get back to work. What's your situation? You've been working from home, and will you you starting to get some of those days in the office again? Because that's sort of my experience.
Yeah, so fortunately, I've been able to work from home and commute to the office as needed. Just trying to do what everyone else is doing. It's just balance work and home life. My wife is still working, fortunately. So it is a blessing to be able to work from home, but it also comes with its challenges, especially having a 6-year-old and an 8-month-old. But like I said before, it absolutely could be worse. So I will take that.
One of the benefits. Well, they're calling it the Quarantine 15, right? I know if you've never met Dave, he's like Lou Ferrigno, except he's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's got a pretty good physique, right? You're into fitness and stuff, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I try to stay. I got to keep up with the young ones. But, yeah, I mean, this is, it is hard, being at home. There's snacks everywhere.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, how am I supposed to not eat them? But it's just discipline, and it's even tougher when you got awesome beer in the fridge. So,
well, that's what, and I just wanted to get to that, because it's one of the things during the day. It's business as usual. It's, it's phone calls and emails and conference calls. And every trip up the stairs, for me, up into the the real world up there, where I can actually see what the type of day it is out of window. I don't have windows in my basement at the moment. I have them covered up, and in the wintertime to keep I live in an older house. But when I go upstairs, I'm like, oh, it's 70 degrees and sunny today. It's beautiful. And then, but one thing I do find is after hours, it's nice. I'm going to reach in there, Dave. I just want to say, what are you drinking? That's always one of the questions we ask on the podcast.
So I'm absolutely enjoying this Argyle sweater. I don't know if the guys have mentioned or if you've heard, but we've made some changes to make the beer even better. We've increased the hops. It is an absolutely true to the style New England IPA, just super hazy, tons of flavor, and goes down really smooth. So
awesome. And I have got the predecessor, one of the original IPA. I got the Hoppy Trails, and it never disappoints. So to that, Dave, my friend, I say cheers.
Cheers. There you go.
All right. Even though that's a candle, because I only have one cup here, I was cheersing a pint glass and a candle that I have here at my desk.
That's right.
For podcast purposes, that's what we call audio engineering. So, all right. So let's talk about your job. First of all, what do you do for Appalachian Brewing Company? We know the guys who make the beer and make the food and serve the food and everything else. But what would you get? Let's get down and gritty. What's your job description as brewery operations manager?
So, as you know, with everyone else in our company, we all wear many hats. We all have to get the job done. So for me, what that means is I oversee all of the production operations on our brewery side, the soda side, and then now the distilled spirits side. Pretty much just got responsible for the procurement and making sure the ingredients are available, keeping inventory in check, forecasting, planning production. Definitely enough to keep me busy. But like I said, we all do different things. But it's awesome coming to work every day because every day is different.
All right.
No two days are the same.
So put it this way: if there's a factory, are you the boss? You kind of everybody's.
I'd be the boss. Yeah.
Okay, so you run the factory. So beneath you, you've got guys who are brewing beer and also distilling spirits.
Yep, everything. Yep.
Okay, all right, and then down to like bottling and canning and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. From the warehouse staff to the brewers, every aspect I'm involved with. Just got to keep everything coordinated, organized. Not that it wasn't before, but that's definitely something that I enjoy doing. I think it's helped out.
So what kind of background do you come from that gets you into something that you say, this is something that I have a knack for? Like, is your closet really clean?
It is clean, but I will have to say that's because of my wife. So
okay.
I actually come from production. Coming out, my first job was at Miller Coors down in Virginia. So seeing that operation really piqued my interest. It's just, that production is on a whole nother level. But did that for a little bit, then moved up to Pennsylvania. Worked at Swiss Premium Dairy for about 10 years, did production supervising there. So this is it's what I know, it's what I enjoy, and it's what I'm good at. So
yeah, well, that's good. That's good to know. It would not be something that I'm easily distracted. So for me, a creative, not to say because you're probably like your job is sort of like, I keep things on track. I put out fires. I hold people accountable. I probably hire a bunch of people. I look for people. What does this person do well? What if that person's out today? How do I replace with that? All those things are like, that's like 20 things going on at once. And I like to, but the way my world seems to work and the way my brain works is, I go into the day thinking today's just a new day and I don't necessarily have a plan. Things just get thrown at me all day long. I try to stick to one task, but there's usually about 50 other tasks that end up, and some of them jump to the front of the line. Other ones I say that can wait till tomorrow. But I'm also I tend to forget things occasionally. So you run into that stuff, and what's on a daily basis are those? I always have to have something that is sort of creative at the end of the day, where I say I set out with nothing, and now I have this. For you, I imagine a lot of days sort of do look the same, and you leave, in some sense, the creativity up to other people, or do you get creative in the way that you manage the operation?
No, so as far as being creative, and I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not creative at all. I am an organized, by-the-book kind of guy. But what I do on a daily basis, yes, I like to have a plan, but what I've learned in production is it never goes according to plan. So there's always something to do, something that, a fire to put out, adjustments, just kind of rolling with it. And that's the other part of, my personality is that's something that I thrive with is if something's wrong, then let's fix it. How do we take care of it? I got someone out. Well, what do we got to do to take care of that? So Yeah, no, at the end of the day, I have a plan. Whether it goes to that, according, it all depends on how the day goes.
So I've always found with bosses that there's two types of bosses. There's probably more than that, but if I can break it down real simply, there's the guy you have to work for, and there's the guy you want to work for. And what that means is, well, that's my boss, and I need this job, and I'm going to put up with his crap no matter what. And there's also, you know what, I want to do a really good job because I know that he's also doing, busting his butt. And which one are you, Dave? Honestly, are you a combination of both?
No, so I'm absolutely someone that I've learned that in each place I've been in, I've always been a younger guy, having to lead, older men who've been there, men and women who've been in the production for years and have that. And I've had to prove myself. And, when you're an up-and-coming, manager, the best way to get the respect is to go in there and to do the dirty work, or, do whatever needs to be done to get the job, but also maintaining a positive attitude, because that stuff is absolutely infectious. So
right.
That's where I like to believe I am. And I'm a big sports guy, so leadership is always something that has almost come naturally to me.
Well, I knew the answer to that one. I just wanted to see what you'd say, because honestly, I wasn't sure if I'd have to do some editing, because I was like, no, that's the wrong answer. No one's going to.
You did it wrong.
You answered correct. You've chosen wisely, sir. All right, so a little bit of news here that come out of the company today. I have a press release before me here in my hands. Sound effect. All right, so here's the hot off the presses. It says press release, Appalachian Brewing Company. Here it is. Appalachian Brewing Company, known for creating incredible craft products, today announced that the company has achieved certification under the prestigious Safe Quality Food Program for Manufacturing, a global food safety initiative benchmarked food safety standard. It says the SQF, Safe Quality Food Program for Manufacturing, SQF, is a globally recognized food safety standard administered by the Safe Quality Food Institute and National Sanitation Foundation. All right, so widely considered prestigious and rigorous requirements for this. Tell me, for what I'm reading here, so now ABC is now SQF, like certified? Tell me, put that into layman's terms for me. What does that mean?
Yeah, so what it boils down to is that it's specifically for our craft soda side, or Mechanicsburg plant. For us to become SQF certified, like it mentioned in that press release, mm-hmm. It was an absolute rigorous 4 months just trying to get this thing up and started from the ground up. But what it means now is it's just going to give us an opportunity to get into bigger stores up and down the East Coast. We're already in your local chains, Wise, Wegmans, Target, Walmart, Carnes, but mm-hmm. This will give us the opportunity to hopefully get into the Costco's of the United States, that just who it's actually a requirement that they look for is
gotcha.
Whether or not you have an SQF certification. So
cool. Well, that makes a lot of sense, because look, here's the deal. There are people, I'm sure, who are making incredible products in small batches in their basement and serving them to themselves and their family and their friends, like good home brewers, or people who just happen to know how to have an old-fashioned root beer recipe, and they do it and they make it in their basement, and it's the best stuff you've ever tasted. And so, that's cool, but that doesn't mean that I can just start a production to make, basically make hundreds of thousands or millions of, gallons or bottles, whatever you're going to, qualify your production as. So there's two types of craft. There's craft, meaning it's me, I'm a little crafty guy in my basement, or, with a small operation. Or I'm craft, meaning that I'm creating craft products that aren't mass production. Like, we're still taking care to every ingredient, to every process, through every employee that touches that product, everything is done in a way that's done in craft. It's just, but we're making it every day. And that's what you guys are. You're a fairly large operation that still produces sodas with high quality ingredients, a lot of quality control along the way. And it's not just push a button, walk away, come back 5 hours later, and there's a couple 100,000 cases of soda sitting around the factory. It's an all hands on, eyes on process. So basically, that's what this is saying is, you guys are now. We still got the craft product that's amazing, that tastes something as good, that's like homemade, but you guys can now play with the big boys in a sense because of this certification. Did I get that right? I know that was a roundabout way of saying it.
No, absolutely. You hit it on the head, man. That's exactly where we're at. You know, a lot of the standards that ABC had, even before I got here, you know, they absolutely knew what they were doing. The quality and the production, it was on point. But now what this SQF certification helps us with is it's official. It's legit. Everything we were doing, it's just documenting is really what it is. And it's an accountability process from the bottom up, you know, from holding our suppliers and vendors accountable to making sure we're getting the highest quality ingredients that we can put into the root beer, the white birch ginger diet. So it puts consumers at ease, knowing that when they pick up a bottle of ABC root beer, that it's not only is it fantastic tasting, but it's safe. There's every employee who's touched that is, a part of the policies, the cleanliness of the facility,
right.
Everything that needs to get done.
So you guys are inspected, and there's the scrutiny that goes into this. You said 4 months. It must have been pretty. It's almost like. I don't want to say there were things that needed to change, but like it almost takes like it takes guts to enter into that process, right? Yeah. Because you're putting yourself out there. It's almost like, it's almost like going to work naked.
Yeah, and like you said, it's total transparency. Everything is open. We look forward to having an inspector come in, because everything that we do from day to day, our day-to-day operations, it's what we've always done. So it's easy. When I say it was 4 months to get it up and running, that was actually mostly all of the policies and the paperwork. But, like I said, the processes, the team members, our plant engineer, the production staff, they had already been familiar with the processes, and that made our job a lot easier. But it's like I said, total transparency. We look forward to having the SQF auditor come by. They will perform unannounced visits. It just keeps everyone honest. You can clean the place up one day and then go back to whatever, but that's not how we operate. We anticipate. We look forward to having that guy come in to check it out. So
that's awesome, man. Well, congratulations, because it's just another feather in the cap. And so I will, again, even though this is for craft soda, I will raise a craft beer, and I will say to you, cheers and congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you.
And it looks like your glass is getting a little empty. So if you need another one, I know we're going to go for a few more minutes here.
So that's all right. I got to pace myself.
Well, here we go. So let's get to know you a little bit about.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. One of my favorite foods. I loved the Bay and Beer pizza. Always one of my favorites. I love the nutty fruity salad. I love rockfish tacos, mountain nachos.
Yep.
I mean, I could go on. I even love the onion rings. But what are some of your? That's sort of like my go-tos. What's your go-to ABC food?
So my go-to is absolutely the nutty fruity salad. It is unbelievable.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Describe it.
Get the same thing, nutty fruity with double chicken. That's where you'll find me.
Double chicken.
There you go.
All right, describe it. Why the nutty? Because I can tell you what I mean. Is it the balsamic? Do you get the balsamic?
Absolutely the balsamic.
Okay. All right, so we're talking. This is great. Two guys talking about salad. It's a new podcast.
How about a burger? Yeah, the burgers are fantastic. I do eat those. Those are awesome. You can't go wrong with the burgers.
I don't even want it. I love here I am in a household where my wife is like I don't know that my kids have really eaten too much red meat in my life and their lives. It's like it's one of those things. Like I mean, I shoot deer and everything, and I eat them, but like I don't really share. I'm pretty much eating that stuff by myself. My daughter who loves like a fast food burger, but like
That's not.
I'm at ABC. I'm two things. I'm either straight up with like the beef, or I will tell you that because I don't ever get it, I love the black bean burger like you wouldn't believe. I love the black bean burger at ABC. I think I've mentioned that before. I guess there's no shame in that.
No, absolutely not. It's a great alternative. No, it's a fantastic burger.
They're handmade. My God, I love it. I just so good.
You're still getting your protein. You're good, man.
All right, so you're healthy. So nutty, fruity, probably light on the balsamic because it's, but also you're getting double chicken on there. So you're going for the protein. What else? What else can you eat? What else are you into there?
Oh man, we don't want to bore the people, but it's just chicken, brown rice, a lot of veggies.
Oh my God.
Red meat. I love steaks. I should be eating fish, but I actually don't. I can't eat seafood or fish only because of the smell.
Okay. Some people are just like that. Yeah. See, I love like shrimp, shellfish. Yeah. You bring me one quality item, something that I was really looking forward to eating, and I can sort of settle into it. I'll make up the void in the stomach with a couple of beers or something along the way. So I don't need to. But I do love fish, and fish fry Fridays are cool. But I've always been like a single serving guy, so I don't need the all you can eat. I appreciate those who do. I appreciate the guy who sits there from about noon to about 4 p.m. Just asking for another piece of fish. That guy right there is the one who.
Hats off to him.
Hats off. Hats off, and watch out when he's headed to the restroom. Anyway, all right, let's talk beer. What's your beer? What's your beer of choice? I see. I know you got the sweater. Are you drink? What do you have? The sweater? Is that what you're drinking?
Sweater. Right? Yeah. It's Argyle sweater. 100%. I absolutely love it. I mean, all of the other beers are fantastic, but the Argyle sweater is just, it's so refreshing. Especially once we get into the summertime, sitting by the pool. I mean, what else? I mean, there's not much better you can have right there.
Well, I agree with you. On that because the sweater, Argyle sweater, IPA, great beer. I have the house beer at the Parker household is Water Gap Wheat.
Yeah, I think I remember loading up about 10 or 12 cases in your car.
Yep, that's right. So the funny story about this is that it's like. I'm drinking. When I make those type of purchases, it's because it's for two people. It's not only one of my favorite beers ever. It's a go-to. Like if I don't care if I walk into any bar in America, and I have walked into bars across the area, and they have Water Gap Wheat in the fridge or in the on tap. I order it just because I want to support the beer. It's because it's such a great wheat beer, and I have friends who come over, and it seems as if Water Gap Wheat is the one that ends up. You ever have a party where you didn't even realize it, and then you look over. People say, "Where should I put the bottles?" And I just say, "Oh, just put them on the counter. I'll get to that." Well, you look over, and there's about 2 cases of beer bottles on the counter. It's an easy drinking beer, and it's my house beer. It's my go-to, and I will never stop. So again, for the third, this may be a podcast record, but
there we go. I am going to finish mine off then.
Excellent. All right, cheers. Mine's a full glass. Yours is empty. So here's a funny story. Let's talk about. Are you a technology guy?
I'd like to think so, but.
All right. What kind of phone you got?
An iPhone.
iPhone. What's is it like new? Is it a few?
No, gosh, like a 7 Plus or something.
Okay. So you're not on top of the latest technology constantly.
No.
So they don't come out. You don't come out with the iPhone. Where I don't even know what they're on right now.
I really don't.
No.
Are we at 11 or 10 or?
Yeah, I think we're past 10. I don't know. That's maybe. I think it's a 12 or something. That's got 16 cameras on the. It's the size of a brick, and. You look like Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell at this point. We're back to the big phone. You know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't know how they've squeezed a lot into it, but no. So this is funny because are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm on Facebook too, but limited. I do a lot of browsing I don't do a lot of posting, but I've been on for years and years. And what I found, and you'll find as a parent, is you take a lot of pictures of your kids and your family because you share. That's what for me. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, every year, you get this memory. They send you the memory, and the memory that I was sent, usually it's of like my kid or something. And but the memory I got today, 5 years ago today, as we sit here on May 13th, 2020, recording this. So on May 13th, 2015, I was working for Appalachian Brewing Company as the marketing director, and we were doing a booze cruise on the Pride of the Susquehanna riverboat. It was something that I had worked a deal where we gave them some beer, and we went out, and it was the best. We did a bunch of them. I had a phone that I had at that point since 2011, and on the booze cruise, it was nighttime. I dropped the phone, and it was the first time I think I'd ever dropped it, and it clanked, and I looked at it, and it had a big crack in it. I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
It's dreadful.
It's terrible.
So I hold on to phones like you wouldn't believe. That was my first ever smartphone. It was a Samsung Galaxy Note 2, and it was huge. It was massive, and from that point, I had to get a new phone. So the new phone I bought, literally the next day, or close to it, was the Samsung Galaxy S6, which I hold in my hand. And 5 years ago to the day, I got this phone. I've had it for 5 years, and the headphone jack stopped working yesterday. And I listened to a lot of podcasts, and I decided I needed to order a new phone. So I had a phone exactly 5 years, and I broke it while drinking beer on an ABC cruise. So let's just say, I don't know if it's an omen or what, but
what are we saying? What are we getting at then?
I got a new phone. It arrived today, and it's still not even. I'm probably going to have it for another 5. So
yeah, that's impressive, man.
I know.
That's great.
Yeah.
At this point now, I don't even have a case on my phone. It's just. I mean, what's the point? I try to invest in those life-proof cases, but even those don't even hold up. But I've dropped them getting in and out of my truck, so I can't.
Yeah.
But nothing like truly devastating where I remember it 5 years later. But I've broken quite a few.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Facebook. And I've never had to visit that guy in the mall. That you pay him how much, $100 or something. They fix your screen for you.
Good for you, man. 5 years. That's something to be proud of. Absolutely.
I have a BlackBerry that I've had that I got we bought BlackBerries, my wife and I, so that we could type on them. They had the raised buttons years ago, but we bought them so we could take pictures and send them to each other. And I had a BlackBerry for at least 4 years before. It's crazy, dude. Most people will have 10 phones. Some people get a new phone every year. I get a new phone about every 4 to 5 years.
I only do it just because if it works, I'm still going to use it.
Exactly.
It's going to break at some point.
And I will hand this one down to my son, who's a 9-year-old who's excited to get a phone, his first phone.
Cool.
All right, well, listen, it's been a lot of fun talking to you today. Congratulations. We are with Dave Tlaxcala. He is the brewery operations manager for Appalachian Brewing Company. Dave, send us off with some words here. Tell me what you're on top of being an employee. You're a fan. What do you love about ABC, your ABC family, and the customers who enjoy the products that you pour your life into every day?
Oh, that's an easy one. The ABC family, and that's it. We treat each other like family. Everyone comes to work. They enjoy what they do. It's tough to find an industry where someone comes to work where they love it. Not because they have to, not because it's a paycheck, but it's because they enjoy what they're doing. And the customers, it's always great seeing the regulars at the bar. Love seeing them, miss seeing them. Especially with what's going on. So hopefully we can get everyone back in safely here soon. But yeah, I've yet to work at a place where I truly enjoy coming to work every day, and this makes it easy. So.
All right, well, that's fantastic. Dave, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you today, sharing a couple of brews, sharing a couple of stories. Good luck with those kids. It only gets better. So
yeah. Absolutely does.
Enjoy. If there's nothing else that we got, out of this lump of crap that we got served up with this virus going around, it's that we get some added family time and, some. Hopefully those Facebook memories will be more significant 5 years from now than a broken phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also a distant memory. That would be great. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. If you want to check out all things ABC, Appalachian Brewing Company, head to the website. It's abcbrew.com. And, of course, many of the restaurants are open for, takeout. Look up, call ahead, make sure that your local location is offering that service. Grab some food. If you're headed to your local grocery store, any market, any distributor that would be open at this time that's offering Appalachian Brewing Company products, you can continue to support the company that way. And they're still offering the craft spirits for sale directly over at the Mechanicsburg location on the Carlisle Pike. So for Dave Tlaxcala, the brewery operations manager at ABC, I'm Mike Parker, wishing you a good day and cheers.